Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 798. I'm Kristin Omdahl, and we're here live in Southwest Florida at the beach today. I forgot my glasses in the car, so it should be pretty interesting to see if I can read the comments. Although it's so incredibly bright out here that for some reason, if the lighting is just right, I usually have better vision than when it's not. So, hi Joe, good morning. Hi Grace, good morning. Hi Judy, Catherine, Val, happy Tuesday everybody. Hi Rita, good morning. Yay, I am reading comments without glasses. This is incredible. Hi Sandshell. Hi. Hi Karen and Judy, Mariana, Christine, Lorraine, good morning everybody. Welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. So glad you could be here. We are live at the beach in Southwest Florida today. We're at a new beach, by the way, as well. Hi Barbara, hi Isba, good morning. So I have been wanting to come to this particular beach for a very long time. Hi Christy and Angela and Thea. And I did not think we were going to have cell reception here. So I came here as an experiment last night. Hi Sharon, Sandshell, another Sharon, Diane, Deborah, Jackie. And I went live for the sunset last night to do an experiment and see if there was enough cell coverage here to go live with YouTube. And there was. And I was like, oh my God, that means I could possibly go to this beach for the podcast. And okay, so here's what's special about this beach. Hi Migdalia and Jill. It's a state park, and it has incredible parking where once you come into the park, you can park right next to the beach access all along the entire park, which sounds like, okay, Kristin, you're sounding lazy. But keep in mind, I have had an injury to my foot for over 3 months now. I have a very difficult time walking most of the time. And I carry a lot of stuff when I come to the beach for the podcast. So between carrying a lot of stuff and wanting a quiet beach and wanting something that's not so much walking, I have to walk a minimum of a half a mile from parking to where I set up on the beach at the other beaches, unless I ride my bike for 20 minutes first before going, and I have to pack all of my stuff on the bike and ride on the road without sidewalks. So there's definitely pluses and minuses to each way that I've done it in the past, until I discovered that they had cell reception here, which I didn't think they would. I assumed that for 2 years of living here. Remember, don't assume. You know what assume stands for, right? Anyway, I'm so excited to be here. I literally parked on the other side of the trees. So we're at Wiggins Pass State Park, and I'll flip the camera around so you can see it. It's just gorgeous. And on another day, we will go on a tour inside. There's going to be great places for me to do photography here. There's going to be great places to do other types of creative work. It's a state park that has different areas. I think there's camping in here. I think there's definitely boat ramps in here. There's concession stands. There's all sorts of stuff because it's a state park. So we're going to get to explore a little bit, and I'm excited to share all of that with you on another day or other days. Speaking of which, yes, you do have to pay to get into a state park. Yes, you do. It is $2 by bike, $6 by car, or $60 for the entire year, and then it's unlimited. So but then it's good for all Florida state parks as well. So this would include any state park in Florida. So if I go anywhere else, Lovers Keys, further up in Fort Myers, and it's absolutely gorgeous, that would be included. And then he gave me a brochure for all the other state parks in Florida that I can now go to with my pass. So, hey! Yes, I'm wearing the Margot top today. This is the short sleeve pullover version. It's in Be So Baby yarn, and this is in color Jade. Such a fun spring color, isn't it? I love my Margot top. I know a lot of you have enjoyed making it as well. Has anybody want to share if you've made the Margot top? And if you have, did you enjoy making it? Do you enjoy wearing it? What color did you make it in? I made this one in color Jade and Be So Baby yarn, which is my number 3 DK weight yarn. I also made a long sleeve and longer length dress in this pattern because the pattern comes with multiple options. And I made that one in navy. Let's see, Jill made hers in cobalt. That sounds pretty. Cobalt's such a beautiful bright blue, bright like royal blue. Yes, I'm wearing it over a white bodysuit that you can find in my Amazon shop, and cut-off jean shorts you can find in my Amazon shop that are made out of incredibly stretchy fabric. They are more comfortable than any jeans or any jean shorts I've ever worn. I don't understand why they're so comfortable. Jeans should not be this comfortable. I love them so much. Anyway, oh, and I'm also wearing my tassel earrings and Be So Fine yarn today. I wasn't sure if the greens would clash or match, and I just said, you know what, I don't care, I'm just gonna go for it. I like to be, I look like a cute teen. Wow, what a compliment. At 48 years old, I'll take any compliment that says I look that young. Actually, I think it's just the attitude. I just felt like being very, is whimsical the word? Carefree. I felt very carefree when I was getting ready this morning. I also braided my bangs, and if you're somebody that likes to do a French braid across your crown, I found that for doing this, you want to start your part extra wide. I know there's some thing about memes going on lately about side parts being an old lady thing, and I don't know what that's all about, and I don't really care either. I don't care. It's like, I remember reading a meme once that said things to do when you're over 40 or things to never do at over 50 or whatever, and then you read the list and it said, don't listen to anybody's opinion. Yes, that's right. You can wear and do whatever you want at any age. It's all about your attitude and your belief in yourself. So I thought that this was a very interesting anniversary today. Are we getting a storm? That doesn't look that bad. Okay, so today's a very interesting anniversary, and even more special that we're at another really lush, overgrown and nature type park is that today's the 3rd year anniversary of Motif Magic being released. So 3 years ago today we released this book, and so I ended up looking up to see, because I'm sure some of you are going to remember this. Do you remember the day that I was at another big beach park where I did the photo shoot for Motif Magic? And I'm going to wait a second to see if anybody remembers. If you do or don't, I'll share which episode of the podcast it was so you can go back and watch. It's pretty silly. So, oh, thanks, Judy. So I think I'm really excited. I am so ridiculously excited to be in a state park this morning and having all the benefits of being in here. It's been something I've been toying around with for weeks, and then finding out that it had cell reception last night was just so exciting to me. I slept better last night than I have in a while. So let's see, Linda remembers me walking there. Okay, so I was at Barefoot State Park. Is it State Park? I think so. Anyway, it was a half-mile walk down this really tropical jungle trail, carrying a box of all the sample garments from the book on a dolly, or hand truck. Some people say I say it wrong when I say dolly. And then, so I had all the samples in this huge box, my tripod, my camera, and what else was I carrying? I don't know, I had a lot of stuff in there. And so, and then and then I held the camera the whole time so that you guys could see me going for the walk. And we walked together for the podcast until I got all the way to the very end of the beach. And the reason I wanted to do that is that at the end was at the beginning of like a pass, an inlet where the water comes in. So if I could stand there and do my photos, I could get more than 180 degrees of water. I was on a little peninsula, and I'm so glad that I did, because I got such amazing photos for this book. If you haven't seen Motif Magic before, I'll give you a quick explanation of what it is. It's 17 shawls, bags, and cowls that are knit or crocheted, but all related to motifs and joining as you go motifs. So there's several projects with knit motifs as well as several projects with crochet motifs. Some really gorgeous shawls and some gorgeous techniques and things that you maybe have never done before. It's a wonderful book. And it was the first book that I did independently published. So I am the publisher and all of the other hats underneath it, except for tech editing. What happened to Dolly? Dolly's still in my garage. I actually have 3 dollies now because I needed a heavy-duty one for moving last time. So I have 2 of the smaller ones that fold up neatly, and I have 1 of the bigger ones that I really don't use. But yeah, I still have the dolly. But that brings me to, remember I bought that wagon that I then named Dolly. I have Dolly as well. And that dolly I may end up bringing to the beach sometimes when I want to bring a bunch of stuff to show you. But today I only brought a couple of things because first of all I wanted to celebrate the 3-year anniversary of Motif Magic, and also the fact that in those 3 years I have now independently published 7 books. 7! Not including the Create, Share, Inspire notebooks, not including all of the single patterns that I've produced, but I've produced 7 independently published books, and you can find all of them on my website as paperback books that I autograph. You can find them as ebooks on my website. You can find all of the patterns individually on my website for all of these books, and you can find all of them on Amazon all over the world too. So however you want to get any of them. I did not bring all of them with me this morning, but I did bring Motif Magic since we're celebrating it today. And at the back of my latest book I can share with you, so here are the other titles. So these are the 7 titles, so starting with Motif Magic, then Layers Knit, Layers Crochet, then 80 Handmade Gifts, 52 Crochet Gifts, Be So Caring, and then number 7 is 24 Crochet Hats. Yay! Hi Geraldine, good morning. Thanks Judy. Yes, what a wonderful thing to celebrate. And we're only 2 episodes away from 800. Jill, could you use Be So Sporty for the Margot? You could absolutely try it. You just want to try it, make a gauge swatch, see if you can get close to the gauge, and see if you like the way the fabric feels, if you like the drapiness and everything. You may end up, it depends on what your gauge ends up being, but you may end up doing the same hook size, same yarn. You may end up having to drop down a hook size to get the same gauge because it's thinner yarn, or if your gauge is off significantly, you may want to do a different size than you normally do. But yes, you could absolutely experiment with substituting Be So Sporty yarn instead of Be So Baby. It would be gorgeous. This top would be absolutely gorgeous in Be So Sporty or Be So Sporty bling yarn too. Definitely. Alright, I had a couple more things to share with you this morning too. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're good. And I can read comments without glasses, like, what is going on today? This is amazing. Oh, I have a freaky story to share with you today too. You want to hear it? Would Mardi Gras look good in this top, I'm guessing you're saying? Yes, of course it would. That would be pretty. Hi Carla, good morning. Okay, so Marlon realized Sunday that he thought he lost his wallet Saturday, and so he tried to trace back his steps. He thought it was at a friend's house, so he ran back to that house, didn't have it there, came back to our house, and said he probably used it last at the gas station, but he paid at the pump, so he didn't think he needed to go to Lost and Found at the gas station. He didn't think he would have left it inside. Didn't even think he could drop it because he paid at the pump. Said, okay, so yesterday we tore the house apart. I mean, piece by piece, tore the couch apart, tore his room, tore the rest of the house, tore his car apart, everywhere. And at the last minute I said, you know what, go to the gas station. It's the last place you remember seeing it. What if you dropped it at the pump? What if somebody took it into Lost and Found? You won't know unless you go, and it was right around the corner. So he goes to the gas station yesterday. 48 hours later, after losing his wallet, he goes to the pump. He sees that his wallet had not only fallen to the ground while he was pumping, but that it bounced kind of under the garbage can at the pump. Okay, so he's going to grab his wallet, and some other guy gets there before him at the same time and grabs the wallet, and Marlon says, hey, that's my wallet, let it go. And the guy goes, no, it's not, it's mine. Marlon goes, dude, it's my wallet. Open it up, I'll prove it to you. The guy fights with him a little bit, then opens the wallet and goes, "I'm sorry, dude, here's your wallet." He goes, "Don't tell anybody," because obviously he'd get in trouble for trying to steal the wallet that part. Marlon goes, "No, you're fine, I just want my wallet." So 48 hours later, he finds his wallet at the pump, at the garbage can, and at the very same time someone's trying to steal it, and he catches him and wins. I can't even believe this is a real story. I know, and I told him, I said, "Wow, this is your lucky day, you ought to play the lottery." He goes, "No, I ought to DM somebody hot." And I thought this was so funny as a cultural difference. When I was growing up, my mom would always say, if something really fortunate happened to you, that you had good luck and that you should play the lottery. And for him, he thinks that if you have good luck, you should try to reach out to a celebrity who might talk back to you. I thought that cultural difference between or generational difference was funny. It's amazing, yeah. So he has his wallet back. It was completely intact. Nothing was missing inside. What an amazing story, right? Wow. Okay, next up, I want to tell you that the next pattern from 24 Crochet Hats that is going to be a video premiere is today, and that will be the Parker hat. And you may recognize this as a very simple hat that I have made for one of my precious little baby dolls. But now in 24 Crochet Hats book, the pattern is written for lots of sizes. You can make this simple double crochet hat for anybody from a small baby through a large man. And the instructions also show you how you can change color to make these stripes, or you could make it in one solid color. So to have a pattern for being able to do a simple double crochet hat is such a great pattern to have in your arsenal, because if you don't have much time on your hands and you don't really want to think too much about it, you just want a Zen project and to whip out some hats, this is the pattern. It's so simple. You work in the round in double crochet with increases for the crown, then even for the body, and then the ribbing, or the brim, it's not ribbing, the brim is super simple too. It's a reverse single crochet edging on the brim. So just a super, super simple hat. You can embellish this with flowers or beads like we talked about yesterday. You can embellish it with a pom-pom or with a faux fur pom-pom. You could embellish it with two pom-poms to look like ears, or you could even add ears or ear flaps to it. There's so many things you could do to dress it up as well. However, it is really great on its own as a super simple hat. This one is done in multiple colors. This is orchid, peach, buttercup, jade, splash, and violet. But again, you could do that in any color combinations you like. And that video will premiere today at 10 a.m. my time, which is about 30 minutes after the podcast ends. And then within an hour after that, the left-hand version of the video will also upload into the 24 Crochet Hats playlist. The screen is getting dark now, and now my eyesight is going to suffer a little bit. I cannot read the comments very well now. I'm trying. Thanks, Judy, for sharing the links. I will try to read the comments, but now that my screen's gone dark, I didn't solve the shade problem from my phone yet. Need to do that soon. Well, I think it's a good time to show you the beach anyway. There's people swimming out there. There's people all over. So here's the beach to the north of us. So I'm guessing that this particular beach goes all the way down to the next pass or inlet. So it would be a fun thing to do to explore. No, I didn't turn the camera around, did I? There we go. There's the beach to the north of us, and it goes all the way up to a point at the end of the pass, so I will definitely be checking that out one day. Here is the mangroves and all the beautiful lush trees. So in some spots along this beach, there are picnic tables in the trees. I'll show you more areas, but my car is literally right on the other side of that set of trees. So there's the beach to the south of us, which is where you would see Naples is down that way, and to the north of us is Fort Myers. Whoops! Flip that back around. As you can see, it's a little bit busy here, not nearly as busy as Vanderbilt Beach, the public beach where I go often. And I'm sure it's busy here on the weekends, but in season, I don't go to any beaches on the weekends. Well, unless I go the one by bike. That one's usually pretty remote still. Anyway, just super, super pretty here. Does anybody have any questions? I know I talked about a lot today. Looks like snow on the beach. Yeah, the sand is pretty light, I agree. It's not though, it's sand. The water's really pretty today too. We could walk down to the water as well. All right, let's turn the camera around. Can you see someone swimming out there? And then there's some people over there in the water as well. So pretty. Oh, did I mention which episode of the podcast was that walk for the photo shoot day for Motif Magic? I said I was going to tell you and I think I forgot. I believe it's episode 26 of the podcast. So if you want to go and watch that later today or when this is over or whatever, it's pretty silly. It's me nervous and excited walking through this jungle carrying all of the sample garments and all of my photo tools for shooting the entire collection from Motif Magic. So obviously it was a little more than 3 years ago, and it's, you know how silly I can be, and especially when I get nervous. So it might be fun to laugh. And it's a little bit exciting too. And you can see the reason why I did it was for this incredible point, that this peninsula of the beach. And so if you watch the whole thing to the end, you can see where I ended up shooting all of these gorgeous pieces. Let me see if I can find one of the, there's one of the photos from in the book. The beach was so beautiful that day, but I was standing in front of a peninsula of water. Or a peninsula of land. I was on a peninsula of land, so there was water like in way more than 180 degrees, way more than half of the distance around me. It was really gorgeous. And you can see all of that if you watch episode 26 of the podcast. Anyway, does anybody have any other questions? I looked it up before I left this morning because I didn't remember what episode it was either. But you might enjoy watching it. Even if you watched it before, you might like it. And if you didn't watch it before, you might like it. Oh, I was wrong, 21. Thanks, Samantha. I thought it said 26. Okay, it was 21. Anyway, if you search by book 14, because that's what we called this book before it had a title, we called it book 14, and that's how I was able to search it this morning. Somebody has a question? Sure, go ahead. How cold is it? I don't know what the temperature is. It's probably in the 70s. What top am I wearing? I'm wearing the Margot top. It is a crochet pattern with lots of sizes and lots of charts. It is a single pattern download on my website, and it uses Be So Baby yarn, my number 3 DK weight yarn, and I'm wearing it in color Jade. Ooh, Judy found the link to that silly podcast where I walked down that long stretch to do the photo shoot for Motif Magic. So if you're interested in seeing that, Judy just posted a link in the live chat right now. You can save that for later. All right, did I answer everybody's questions? Are there more questions? Tip top, same difference, right? I don't know what that means. Thanks, Sabrina. This is color Jade in Be So Baby yarn. It's 73 degrees. Thanks, Thea. Judy is quick. I agree. Thank you, Judy. Thank you. I love this color too. I love Jade. Oh, and then for the earrings, this is Be So Fine Tidbits in color Calypso Lime also. That's the same color that I used for the Mary shawl in Motif Magic. Isn't that pretty too? So many gorgeous things in that book. I love them. Yeah, so you can browse through all of the patterns if you want for that book. You can browse by single patterns. You can browse the whole collection in the books and the ebook. Should probably have a playlist for some of the projects here on YouTube as well. I didn't look before I got here this morning. Yes, it is a happy color. The jade and the calypso lime are both happy colors. I saw a longer post, but I didn't get a chance to read all of it before it scrolled off the screen. If your question is important to you and I don't get to it in the podcast, you're always welcome to leave a comment in the fixed comments after the show after the show stops being live and goes to recorded. Then those comments I get notified about, or you can email Judy after the show, judi@kristinomdahl.com, and you can ask your question there. I don't always see every comment, especially a longer one like that. Sometimes they scroll off the screen before I can read the whole thing. So I'm not ignoring you. If I don't get to your question, you just might want to ask it in a different way. That's all, whether it's through email, the contact button on my website, or through the fixed comments when this becomes a video and it's no longer live. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so I said we would continue reading quotes out of the Create, Share, Inspire notebooks. So I will go to the next page now. So for those of you that aren't familiar, my Create, Share, Inspire notebooks are creative writing journals where every page is opposite a beautiful inspirational quote, so you can write about all sorts of things in here. And it has been documented so many times that you can be more successful in reaching your goals if you write them down. You can have a better sense of peace and well-being by writing your feelings down. You can be more organized in your creativity if you log in your patterns and your projects and things too. So there's so many different ways that you can use a book like this. I have 7 different issues, each one with 31 quotes, opposite 31 pages, but there are no dates put in there, so you can start at any time, and you can do it every day, or if you miss a day, it's okay. You can still fill out the date as you see fit. So the next quote that I want to share with you from issue 1, volume 1 is from Henry Ward Beecher. Hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anyone else expects of you. Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. I am the only person's opinion that counts for me, and that should be the same for you too. You know that expression that I like to share, other people's opinions of me are none of my business, right? All we can do is work on being a better version of ourselves. That's it. Not what other people think, not what other people do, but if we're wanting to improve at all, it's working on improving ourselves to be better for yourself than you were before. Anyway, thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the beach. I hope you enjoyed all my show and tells and all the stories we talked about today. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I'll see you for the live premiere of the Parker Hat in 30 minutes, and then I'll see you tomorrow for the podcast as well. Bye-bye.